Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel. God will do it for you. I hope everyone is doing all right. I know I missed you guys last week, Friday. Had a little busy of a week. Was trying to make some extra money just to make sure that we are all right over here, and also just had something planned for this weekend. But I told myself as soon as I got a moment, I'll get right back to it. And I just hope everybody's making it the best way they can. This month is pretty much coming to an end starting next week. And I hope everybody's making the best of all the opportunities that they can, or just hanging in there until that opportunity comes. And that's what this video is going to be about today. It's going to be about God has not forgotten you. And just reading over the story of Hannah, which is in 1 Samuel chapter 1. Just the whole chapter 1 is about Hannah. You can read over that. I'm not actually going to read about that, but I'm going to speak about that situation and also just kind of speak on my personal experiences right now. But just if you don't know the story, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do, but it's about her basically just feeling a little forgotten about something that she's praying for. And I know we all have things that we are praying for, and sometimes when we see other people either experiencing what we desire and what we're praying for, and or they even just kind of being boastful about it, and you're like, dang, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for the Lord. I'm being obedient. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not being prideful. I'm praying. I'm believing. I have faith, and just nothing is happening. And the sort of what Hannah was dealing with, she wanted a child, but the people that were around her, especially the maid, she was being boastful about having one and Hannah not having one. And so Hannah went into deep prayer to the Lord and, prayed fervently, just saying, hey, spoke from the heart saying, hey, I desire this, and I really want what I desire, but it's not happening. And it was fortunate that the priest that was sitting there that thought she was drunk, once she explained that she wasn't and she's just speaking from her heart, he blessed her saying that, hey, the prayer is going to happen. Just to sum it up, like I said, read the story in detail, you'll see the exact wording. But he said that you'll be blessed for what you're praying for. And in time it did come to pass, and she birthed Samuel, which became a great name in the Bible, especially with the way he was chose to anoint Saul and David. So it had great purpose. So the blessing was worth the wait, in my opinion. And sometimes that's what we have to remind ourselves, is that even in our times of waiting, we see other people gaining, or they're having families, or they're getting a kingdom spouse, or whatever the case may be. They're getting in good health and they weren't. Whatever the case may be, we see it. We know what we see, and it may get you a little down. You might be like, this isn't funny. It doesn't seem a little fair, or like, when is it my turn? And even me, when I look at my life, I'm looking at all the aspects of my life, and I'm thankful for the things that God has done. But the one thing that I'm just looking at is the financial aspect. I'm like, I see these stories of people on YouTube. They don't even mention God, but they're wealthy. They're like, hey, I went from broke to this, or sometimes these stories just pop up at the top of my YouTube, and I'm not even trying to search for it, or anything about that, and they just pop up right there. So sometimes I'm thinking, maybe this is God trying to give me encouragement, or maybe YouTube is listening to, I don't know what they're doing. But the main thing though is, I'm like, man, God, like, I'm a full-time single father. What I'm doing currently as far as my ability to earn money. It's just not enough. It's not enough. And with me being in a state alone, I don't have many options to work towards getting more. I can't get a second job and work their hours and things like that, because I have nobody that can watch my son. My options are so limited that it does get me a little discouraged. But that's when I go into prayer and just say, hey, the word in the Bible is what it is. And it is for a reason. The thought of giving up and things like that, oh yeah, I'm like, hey, God, I'm trying. I really am trying. You're pushing me to my limit. And it's just me being honest and transparent with y'all, because I don't want you all to be thinking that I'm just a perfect human being. Like, I don't have emotions or feelings or anything like that that I don't deal with, and just gun hole this and that, this and that. People that say they do, they're not disclosing the whole truth about how they dealt with their situation, and they're just really happy that things turned around, so they're giving you just the gist of it. But no, it is hard. Sometimes it is a little discouraging. I have wants and desires as well as far as financially. I'm not even asking God to make me rich. I'm like, heck, just give me a little more than what you're giving me. It would be nice. So, but whatever His will is, as far as what He will do, I'll gladly accept it. But that's just my message to you all. This was not going to be as long as my other videos, as God hasn't forgotten us. Whatever His appointed time for us is whatever it is. And we have to just be patient. We have to not give up. I hate to say it, but it seems like when you're close to giving up or when you're about to throw in the towel is when He does it. I've read Steve Harvey's story, Tyler Perry's, even other YouTubers that their pages are like at 3 million, and they're gaining this and that, and I'm like, they're all saying the same thing. Like, it was when I was about to give up, was when I was about to say forget this, it's about to throw in the towel and say, like, life is just at its breaking point, and that's when God came in and got the glory. And I for me, just being real, I'm like, man, it has to get to that point. But when you think about the story of Lazarus, yes, sometimes that's what God would desire to do. Jesus came at a point where people wouldn't be able to say that it was because of this or this and that. He came 2 days later when he was well gone in the earth. They buried him and everything, and He came and brought him back to life. So God will do that for our situation. So for whatever you're hoping for, believing for, praying for, have faith in God to do for you. If it's His will, in due time it will happen. Just like for Hannah, it said in due time she did conceive the baby. And it wasn't just any old baby. It was a great prophet. So that means that sometimes what we're waiting on is going to be bigger than what we thought it would be. And at that point, I live by this philosophy: it will be worth the wait. And I'm all about worth the wait, but the suffering and just dealing with everything in between, it is hard. I'll be lying to you and saying it isn't. It is hard. It is hard. It is hard. But we have to stay strong, stay in faith, turn to our Bible, seek, look for encouraging words. Google encouraging words in the Bible, and go back and look through your Bible. Make sure that you read over it, because God made the Bible for a reason, and He knows what we're going to go through. And that's why there's usually scripture for just about any aspect of life that you're dealing with, any situation, anything. There is an applicable scripture in the Bible that can boost you up, give you a little encouragement to make it to the next day. And that's where you should be sourcing your encouragement from. Not from other YouTubers, not from other internet priests, not from your pastor. Source it from the Bible, because the pastors, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're going to be pushing you towards the Bible. They're going to be saying, all I am doing is reading from the Bible. The word that God gives them is in the Bible. So that's where we should be sourcing our inspiration from, the Bible. That's where we should be sourcing our encouragement from, the Bible. If we source it from man, you'll be let down if they say something is going to happen and it does not happen. You'll be just searching for another person to give you more encouragement, and it'll just go into this endless loop of despair. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's why, I was talking to God today when I was in the car. I was like, God, even though things aren't the way I would like it to be, because I feel like we're sinking a little bit, but I'm like, I still won't turn my back on you. I'll still give you all the honor, praise, and glory. I'm still going to pray. I'm still going to continue to teach my son about you. I'm still going to always give you credit and seek you for everything. But be real with you, God, we need your help. We need your help. The financial aspect is literally the only aspect of my life that is not fulfilled. So I'm like, maybe He's saving the best for last. I don't know. I'm not God, so I don't know. But I do know that this ain't easy. It's not easy, and dealing with it is definitely interesting for the mental state. It really is building my faith, because the more things start to, in my opinion, sink, the more I start turning to him, which in my opinion, I feel like that's what he wants. He's like, I'm going to have him turn to me in a way that when I turn it around, he's going to only know that it was because of me that it was that way. And again, like I've told you all on my other videos, I do not care about credit. He can have it. 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 I just don't want to give up on the things that he's put in my heart. I don't want to give up on this page. This page is going to be a blessing for people. The things that I would like to do in my life is not only going to be a blessing for the environment, it's going to be a blessing for my son, because it's going to show him that, as long as we have God, everything's going to be all right. And if you work hard towards the things that you truly love, this is the result of it. So it's a lot that comes with feeling like you give up. It hurts you a little bit. You're like, you feel like a failure. I'm trying to break generational curses on my end. And I'm like, God, I need your help to do that. There is no, let me find the perfect job, this and that, because God can close every door that you try to go through. It's God that has to be the one that ushers that forward movement in your life. That is the only person, the only God that could do it. That's the only person that could do it. He's the only being that could do it. That's it. There's no person that has the power to do what God is not able to do, because God can do all things. He can do all things, and that's why he can close a door. That's why he can cause a major incident to happen if he really wants to. That's why he is who he is, the master orchestrator, above all, in control. Think he created us. He created this earth in 6 days and relaxed on the 7th day. If you can create a planet, then by all means, I'll hear you out. But I'll give you a listen. But if you don't have that type of power, which nobody does, then there's nothing that you can do to help somebody above him. Because even if you try to help somebody, he can make something happen that, if that's not his will, it will fall apart and it won't last the test of time. So my encouragement for you all, and including myself, is we have not been forgotten. We have to hold on. We have to keep praying. We have to keep believing. Keep knowing that he is in control. And if you're going through the process of whatever you're hoping for, a house, a wife, husband, a car, more finances, good health, whatever the case may be, just keep believing. Don't give up. Pray for me, because I'm making sure that I do the best I can for you all. I'm just giving you the real life experience. I know a lot of people will give this information about what they're going through once they get to the next level. Then they start telling people this and that. I like to tell people, I want to give it to you as everything is happening, so that way when if someone's going through a similar situation, they can be like, I'm not alone in this. Not seeing me with lavish background, jewelry all around my neck or whatever. I don't even do stuff like that anyway, but you get what I'm saying. Not when I'm upgraded and then you're looking like, dang, it would be nice. Sometimes it's good to have someone that you can relate to and be like, we're going to get there. And I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that's believing. I'm not the only one that sees my surroundings. And even in this crazy economy, they're doing just fine. And then you're just wishing that I could just get a little taste of that. Or you're like, hey, man, they're partnering up. I'm definitely been putting in the work in myself. I could be a good spouse for a godly person. But I haven't gotten it yet. Or I would love to do great things on this earth. I have a great heart, but my health is declining, and I really need one of those miracles that the Bible talks about. Whatever the case may be, we got to hold on. So we're going to conclude the video with that. If you like it, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, whatever you would like to do, and we'll go from there. We'll be in this together. But the one thing I do know is we're going to get out of this together. Life will get better. I truly believe it, because again, God is in control of all things. So it's really up to him if he wants to change it. And that's the one thing that gives me hope, is because knowing that he's in control, that means that that he can change it. And that's just the main thing that you always have to remember. If he's in control and you believe that, now if you don't believe that, then that's different. I can't help you. But if you believe that, then you know that the situation can change whenever he wants it to. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Until next time.